Yes, yes. Hello. Lots of fun stuff to talk about today. Let's get started with the title of the video. All right, so this is from Space Weather, Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. In case you haven't heard of it, I'm sure you have, but in case you haven't, quick summary. Coming soon to the heavens near you, the Comet of the Year. Astronomers are calling Comet 46P Wirtanen the Comet of the Year. 2 months from now, on December 16th, the kilometer-wide ball of dirty ice will come within 11.5 million kilometers of Earth, making it one of the 10 closest approaching comets of the space age. Comet 46P will probably become a naked eye object for several weeks during the holidays. Here's what it looks like now. All right, so let's talk about comets historically. Caesar's Comet. Caesar's Comet, also known as Comet Caesar and the Great Comet of 44 BC, was perhaps the most famous comet of antiquity. Its 7-day visitation was interpreted by Romans as a sign of the recently assassinated dictator Julius Caesar. Almost every culture has a legend about a great flood, and with a little reading between the lines, many of them mention something like a comet on a collision course with Earth just before the disaster. The Bible describes a deluge for 40 days and 40 nights that created a flood so great that Noah was stuck in the ark for 2 weeks until the water subsided. In the Gilgamesh epic, the hero of Mesopotamia saw a pillar of black smoke on the horizon before the sky went dark for a week. Afterward, a cyclone pummeled the Fertile Crescent and caused a massive flood. Myths recounted in indigenous South American cultures also tell of a great flood, and that would also be associated with the blue and red Kachina. These stories are all exactly what you expect from survivors of a celestial impact. And you have the book of Revelation talking about this as well. And what I find very interesting is that this comet in particular was founded and discovered on January 17th, 1948. So that is literally 7-11 backwards. And so 1948 to 2018, 70 years. We all know what a big deal the 7 is, right? Israel, 70th year anniversary this year too. Big deal. And we're not on. In the old ancient calendars, 7 is the month of September, not July. So really, if you're going to go by 9/11, really that was 7/11, because September is the 7th month in these old calendars. How many legs in an octopus, right? 8. October is the 8th, November is the 9th. Instead of how we have it now, where it's 9, 10, 11, it's 7, 8, and 9. So on 70 years ago, 9/11, this comet was discovered. Something very interesting, very interesting. Been playing this Super Nintendo game called The Illusion of Gaia, right? Gaia means Earth, Illusion of Gaia, you ain't kidding, man. And it's all about the Tower of Babel and this comet. There's an old legend in this village. A child with a good heart who controls the dark power will set out to save the child. At that time, a huge comet will enter the Earth's orbit, and a dark power will arise. And this thing is talked about throughout the entire. This is a script of the dialogue from the actual video game, and it's referenced and talked about throughout the entire thing. And some really interesting dialogue accompanies this. The comet is a vehicle of destruction whose evil light has changed all creatures. It's a remnant of a weapon from a terrible battle long ago. This is the final shape of those touched by the comet's light. The comet is so beautiful. After years and years, the comet approaches Earth, then recedes. Some say it's an unlucky star. Some say it's a lucky star. The evolution is being affected by the light of the comet. A huge comet will enter Earth's orbit. Mankind will become extinct. And this is where it's really interesting right here. The comet that now approaches Earth is also a consciousness without form. Very, very, that's pretty crazy stuff. And you have all sorts of depictions of this thing, as I just read to you. Not even necessarily this thing, but just comets, meteors, asteroids. There's a big, huge celestial event that's going to take place. It's happened a bunch of times before. And here it is even mentioned in this video game. And This is a really awesome video. I've talked about it before. From 9Nanny, I'll put it below. Right now we're in this Venus transit. Now remember, this is all happening when Venus is passing over us. And Venus is Lucifer, Venus is the morning star, Venus is Jesus. Because Lucifer does not necessarily mean a bad thing. It can be good or bad, which is funny because that's what they just said about the comet. It's a lucky star or an unlucky star depending on who you talk to. Just like Lucifer. Lucifer is a light bringer. When the light was stolen from the gods and given to the humans, Lucifer was looked at, which was called something, I think, Prometheus at the time. It just depends on which story you read. So to the gods, Lucifer was an asshole because he took the light from them and then gave it to the humans. But the humans or man thought that Lucifer was awesome because they got the light from him. So you see what I mean? It's not, don't just throw a bad connotation with it. And right now, it all started in 2012 with this huge Venus transit, which was one of just a few. It was a very rare one. They happen a lot, but we were able to see it, which made it extremely rare. And this thing, Venus, this planet, from 2012 all the way to 2020, is doing a dance and it's creating a star. This is you. You are a star. We are immortals pretending to be mortals. We are angels pretending to be humans. Remember that. That's what's happening right now. And so it's funny whenever you have this Super Nintendo game in the 90s talking about a huge comet being this big spectacle coming to Earth that's a consciousness without form, that the light of the comet affects evolution, and you have Venus literally depicting you, me, all of us in the heavens above, and this comet is coming at the exact same time. And look at this, 2012, and then it bounced over here to 2014, then it bounced here in 2015, 2017, 2018, back to complete its star formation in 2020. All right, in 2012, you had Elenin. In 2013, we had Ison. In 2012, take a pick of what was Hurricane Sandy, Sandy Hook. Then in 2014, January to March, this is the exact time frame when MH370 went missing. July to October 2015, this was the exact time frame when the stock market had its biggest crash of all time since 2008. It didn't close at the biggest crash of all time, but it fell. That was the first time that thing dropped down 1,000 points, and then closed at about 500 and some change. So in 2015, well, all eyes were on the stock market at that exact time because we said it's a Shemitah cycle, a crash is coming. That is exactly what happened. Okay, February to May 2017. Take a pick. 2017 altogether, man. You got the huge, super rare solar eclipse. September to December 2018. Take a pick this time frame. Now we have the comet coming around December 2018, and then back May to August 2020. So this is all. I mean, come on, think of all these amazing, huge. I mean, you've had Cassini thrown into Saturn in 2017. You've got the probe being launched to the sun this year. You have, like I said, Ison, Elenin, the end of the Mayan calendar, this comet here. And then on top of all this, 46, that's you. That's how many chromosomes are in the human body, man. This is huge. So now I don't think this will be the impact. I don't. I think this is about what comes with it. And this whole I'm telling you right now, I honestly think a year from now, around 2019, around this time next year, I kind of feel like you're either going to get it or you're not. And this place is going to be completely divided. Because even the Bible says there people just aren't going to wake up because it's not everyone's time. This is all a cycle. This is all evolution. And we all learn and grow at our own pace and what we're planned out to do. So some people, no matter what, just aren't going to get it. And I think because I think it's insane now that we're not at that point now. But I think next year, so very intense, man. Very, very intense. And I'll leave you with this. Check out this movie called Night of the Comet. It came out in 1984. And I'm just going to read you the intro to the movie. Since before recorded time, it had swung through the universe in an elliptical orbit so large that its very existence remained a secret of time and space. But now, in the last few years of the 20th century, the visitor was returning. The citizens of Earth would get an extra Christmas present this year, as their planet orbited through this tail of the comet. Scientists predicted a light show of stellar proportions. something not seen on Earth for 65 million years. Indeed, not since the time that the dinosaurs disappeared virtually overnight. There were just a few who saw this as more than just a coincidence, but most did not. Right. So here's this movie from 1984 absolutely predicting exactly what's happening this December. It's going to be, scientists are saying it's going to be of stellar proportions, one of the brightest and closest to comets one of the closest approaching comets of the space age. It's going to be seen with the naked eye, and it's coming around Christmas because it's going to show up December 16th and be seen for weeks afterward. And in the beginning of this movie, you see all these people. They show all these. It's obviously in the New Year's Eve celebration. All these people gathered in Times Square looking up the sky, have big signs of the comet. And so then what happens in the movie? This thing comes by, it drops some red dust and turns people into zombies. Now, I don't think that that's exactly what's going to happen, but I do think the light from this comet, I think people are, all the way leading up to 2020, it's going to drive people nuts. People are just going to act, they're already acting nuts as it is, but no one has seen anything yet. So this is a huge, huge event, people. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. We got historical, stuff to look at as say comets bring big changes and transformation, if you will, or mark big events. Got lots of good predictive programming right here. Got it even in a Super Nintendo game. It's cool shit, man. Just wanted to share it with everybody.